Hello everyone, it's Adam. I am going to show you a build that is using the Quiet of the Storm amulet, however it doesn't require you to have Temporalis. So that it can be built on low budget, and as we are finding more and more divines, you can scale it up. So this build is centered around triggering greater lightning bolts from Quiet of the Storm, and you will use those lightning bolts to fuel custom something meta gems. And those meta gems will then trigger additional spells which will crit and trigger greater lightning bolts from Fire of the Storm again. And this will eventually turn into a self-sustaining chain reaction, which is quite nice to see. Uh, First, I'm going to show you some videos about map clearing, boss fights, and the defensive capabilities of the build, and then I will talk about the details.
Out of mana!
While the looking, this beast yearns for your blood.
What foul energy gives life to you?
So let's look at the skill gems. The most important part here is of course greater lightning bolt. We are just using gems to amplify its damage and to cast it more often. So it's concentrated effect. Consider casting for amplified damage and spell echo and ingenuity to cast it more often. I am using a Stormweaver, and I have chosen the Elemental Storm specialization nodes. It's not mandatory at all, however, it synergizes well with the build because it's also casted on critical hit, which we are doing a lot. And I'm not using it for the damage. I am using it to crowd control. It has an inherent ability to hinder enemies, and I have also socket electrocute and neural overload into it so that it will build up the electrocution thing, and it will eventually paralyze enemies. And actually, it's quite reliable to paralyze enemies this way. Other than that, it's just control distraction because it cannot hit anyways. Magnified effect to cover more area, and encumbrance just to increase the slow potential. Eye of Winter will be the spell that will trigger this chain reaction. It's important that we are using a low level Eye of Winter with high quality. The low level is because we are not care about the damage, we only care about the number of projectiles it emits, and we are also care about the projectile speed, that's why the high quality. So that it has unleash, acceleration, inevitable critical, ricochet, mobility. The important part is basically the acceleration and unleash, because we just want to cast it and we want it to reach the other edge of the screen with a lot of projectiles. Katar Warrior is something that I'm just using in my second weapon set. The trick here is that I have this Lord of Horrors specialization with my second weapon set, and this way, if I switch, weapons, then those skeletons will show up. And because I have Infernal Legion and Minion Instability, they will just blow up. And because I also have Green Feast, they will leave some of these Green Feast remnants, which will fuel my energy shield. And you can see that I now have double energy shield value, which is nice. It's just a great trick before entering into dangerous area to have double energy shield before you engage with monsters. Temporal chains is something that I rarely use, but I found Curse Ground is a nice way to just cast it before a boss fight, and then the boss will usually encounter with this Curse Ground, and it will be slowed a little bit. Crossfire is just a nice defensive tool. I very rarely use it. It's just Ice Cycle, Spell Cascade, Font of Mana, and Glaciation. It's both a defensive tool and a way to have more target to your projectiles to trigger Fire of the Storm, but again, it's not really needed. Arctic Armor is something that I found a great defensive tool, because while it doesn't really have much damage, with Ambush, it will almost guaranteed crit anything that tries to hit you. And with this, any white monster that hit you will immediately struck by lightning. So it means that basically, as long as less than 6 monsters attacking you at the same time, they won't have chance to hit you more than once. It's actually it helps a lot. At first I underestimated this skill, but it's not bad. It's quite useful for defensive purposes. You could see it in the video. And the important part is here. So custom critical and custom freeze are the spells, just the meta gems that are triggering the spells that start sustaining the chain reaction. Custom critical, I believe this is the more important of the meta gems. I socketed both Eye of Winter and the low level spark. Again, it's low level Eye of Winter, low level spark, because I don't want it to drain my mana too quickly. And it's just fork, energy retention, and inspiration. So the important part here is that I have 2 spells socketed, and because they are both supported by energy retention, the energy that you refound is more compared if you just socketed 1 spells, and you are quite reliably trigger those spells. So and also this way, both of them are supported with inspiration. And custom freeze is just another tool to trigger even more projectiles. It's supported with impetus, chain support, scatter shot, and resistance, and I have a low level spark here. Also, it's important that both sparks and the Eye of Winter has maximum quality, because for spark it increases the number of projectiles it fires, and for Eye of Winter it increases the speed of the projectile. So it's important to reach more part of the screen with those spells. Let's look at the items. So the most important is of course Fire of the Storm. There are 2 important lines in this amulet. One is of course that it's triggering lightning bolt, and the other one is that critical hits ignore enemy monster lightning resistance. This is very important because we are not using lightning penetration and lightning explosion and any of these. However, we don't have to, because enemy monster lightning resistance is always set at 0. As long as we are causing lightning damage, we don't need to care about the monster's resistance. So for that, we are also using Whisper of the Brotherhood, because we want to turn all of our damage to lightning. The other important part of the puzzle is Maligo's Virtuosity. This is just grants you 300 50% guaranteed critical damage bonus. I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary, but it adds a lot to the build's damage. Other than that, it's basically just a rare link to have some mana rarity resistance. Also, the boots is just for movement speed, resistance, and mana. And I can say that the movement speed is the most important part on this item, because I think that's the only way to get movement speed, and I didn't think that it's much of a difference, but it is. So the first thing you should look on your boots is the movement speed. As for weapon and offhand, so it's just damage, spell levels, and critical hit chance. As for your wand, it is important that you should not look for plus level for all skills, because that will increase the mana cost of your whole spells, where you actually care about the number of projectiles more than the damage. So you should basically looking for a wand that adds only levels to lightning spells. As for body armor, is just spirit, energy shield, and some resists. And also belt is just mana and resist. So a lot of my items has extra mana, because even if it's not a archmage build, it's still quite mana intensive. So you want to have at least 1000 mana. So basically that's all for the items. Also, it's important that in order to have all these gems, you require at least 210 spirits. And it's not easy to have that much spirit. Currently, I have 30 spirit here, 53 spirits here, and I'm also having a set of Grand Spectrum Emerald, which increases 2% for each socketed Grand Spectrum. That's 18% total. And that's why I have that many spirit, but these are not necessarily easy to get items. Another way to have that many spirit is just to use a scepter instead of a focus. This way you are sacrificing some of your damage, but it's much easier to get the required spirit to have the build function, and I think it's more important at the beginning. Look at the skill tree. I'm not going to explain all of the nodes. You will find the passive building link and the max roll link in the video details. I would rather just give you an overview of what things to look for. So basically what you are looking for is critical hit chance. An important node, for example, is Careful Assassin, where you can basically ignore the downside if you are using Maligo's Virtuosity. So critical hit chance is the most important thing that you're looking for in the skill tree. The second most important is scaling your energy shield, because you want to have a lot of energy shield to survive in endgame areas. And then you are looking for having more energy in your meta gems and triggered spell damage. So that's basically an overview of the skills. As for keynotes, I'm using Chaos Inoculation because I'm just desperately afraid from Chaos damage, and also Eternal Youth because I found it's better to manually recharge your energy field via a life flask. As for jewels, I have already showed you that I am using these Grand Spectrum set, and my remaining jewels are basically for critical hit chance and spell critical hit chance. So that's basically the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any idea how to make it even better, or if you just have any opinion about the video, please let me know in the comments, and see you next time.